Over our 60 years of providing academic excellence and career training within the region, CSM has developed strong and mutually beneficial partnerships. One of our partnerships was with the Navy when in 1960, we established an apprentice program with the Naval Ordnance Station in Indian Head. This close association with the Navy has continued throughout the college's history, and we're delighted to have Indian Head's Technical Director, Mr. Ashley Johnson, as a keynote graduation speaker this evening. Ashley?
Thank you for the fine introduction. It is an honor and a true privilege to be here today. Thank you to the College of Southern Maryland for inviting me to speak, and thank all of you for the opportunity to share my congratulations. This is about you. You've completed a major milestone that has challenged your mind and prepared you for the journey forward. To you, I say, well done. It is customary for commencement addresses to reflect on life, make observations, offer stirring words, and some considered advice. In this regard, I intend not to break radically from tradition, but will offer some potentially unconventional sources and a caution as to the practicality and wisdom of free advice. For example, in light of the rising frequency of human grizzly bear conflicts, the Montana Department of Fish and Game is advising hikers, hunters, and fishermen to take precautions and keep alert for bears while in the field. We advise that outdoorsmen wear noisy little bells on their clothing so as not to startle bears that are not expecting them. We also advise outdoorsmen to carry pepper spray, just in case an encounter happens with a bear when they don't expect it. It's also a good idea to watch out for fresh signs of bear activity. Outdoorsmen should recognize the difference between black bear and grizzly bear droppings. Black bear droppings are smaller and contain lots of berries and squirrel fur, while grizzly bear droppings have little bells in it and smell a lot like pepper. So here you go, your free advice. Today I want to tell you 2 short stories in my life. That's it, no big deal, just 2 stories. To help me along, we'll be visited by some heroes, an eclectic group perhaps, but genuine and important to my experience and message. Use your heart. Jerry Maguire, anyone see the film? Admittedly, it's a little embarrassing that some of my guiding principles come from a movie with the immortalized "You complete me" as the final scene. But what can I say? If you have seen the movie, you'll remember Jerry's mentor, the late, great Dickie Fox. Although Dickie Fox had limited screen time, his scenes in Jerry Maguire have always stuck with me. If this is empty, this doesn't matter. At this point in the audience, you're wondering, what is he talking about? After all the hard work to sharpen my mind and gain command of intellectual prowess, he's suggesting it doesn't matter? Only if your heart is missing 2 parts: determination and compassion. It's 1983, my senior year of high school, varsity basketball and the city championship game. I'm pretty good, and it's my expectation to do well and propel the team to victory. Catholic Central has a good team too. They didn't get here by losing a lot, and they are bitter rivals. However, it's not going like I planned, and I've had a brutal first half. Every time I touch the ball, they're on me like a cheap suit. Missed shots, lost rebounds, and I'm getting hit, plenty. Finally, I get hammered again as I go to the basket. And as my teammates help me up, it's the end of the half, and I'm at the line for a pair of free throws to cut their lead to 5 points. I missed them both. The horn sounds, and I slam the ball down in frustration. I hear one of the players laugh and say to the guy who fouled me, "That's right, see? Take his heart. He's nothing." I walked to the locker room and sat angrily by myself. Take my heart? Did they just take my heart? Then he showed up, the outlaw Josie Wales. I'd seen him in a film a few weeks before. You know the one, Clint Eastwood, as a guerrilla gunfighter? I remembered his words. Now remember, when things look bad and it looks like you're not going to make it, then you got to get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither win nor live. That's just the way it is. We came back. I shrugged off the first half and scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Finished with the best game of my high school career, 32 points and 23 rebounds. It was in all the papers. We lost. And it turned out to be my last high school game. But I lived and was stronger for the effort. I went on to play in college for a Division III national championship school, having learned the value of a determined heart. You can count on life to challenge you, to try and take your heart. Remember Josie, and don't give up, ever. If you do, then you neither live nor win. My second story is about acknowledging and honoring the human element. It's now 1994. I've been working for the Navy and Marine Corps for 7 years. I have a family, 2 daughters. Jennifer is now 3, and Kelly was just born in August of that year. My career is challenging. Things are busy at home, but I'm determined to make it all work. Besides, that's what engineers do, right? We make it all work. My sister called on a Saturday morning. "I think Dad's sick." "Sick, eh? A cold?" "No, I think it could be something else. You need to talk to him." "Hey, Dad, Connie's worried. You okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'll get through it." "How are all my girls? You guys okay?" 3 months later, Dad has cancer. Melanoma. Vicious, brutal, and completely lethal. I remember being at such a loss for what to do. How was I going to fix this? Who let this happen? The next few months were pretty difficult. Every conversation with my dad was focused on fixing it and finding out how it happened, what should have been done to prevent it. 2 months later, and chemotherapy was killing Dad faster than the cancer. I lashed out in anger and frustration. "Have you been doing what the doc says? Are you eating right? Dad, are you fighting this thing?" My dad grabbed my shoulder and said, "Ash, I don't want to die." And then it hit me like a freight train. This time, it wasn't about fixing it or about determination. This was about listening and feeling, the compassion. Dad was gone before Kelly had her first birthday. Much later in life, I read a series of letters and papers from Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a young German pastor who was executed in 1945 by the Nazis for his part in the assassination plot on Hitler. He said, "We must learn to regard people less in the light of what they do or omit to do, and more in the light of what they suffer." Life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. Remember that honoring the compassionate heart does not imply weakness. True leadership, inspiration, and influence means listening to and from the heart and having the dedication and humility to clear all that stands in the way. So there you have it. A couple of stories about using your heart. 2 sides of the same coin, if you will. And it's really a pretty amazing piece of gear. as long as it's not empty. Fill it with determination and compassion. Use it with your head, and it will never let you down. I'm grateful for the chance to share with you, but our brief time together is about over. We heard from Dickie Fox, the outlaw Josie Wales, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I did warn you it was an eclectic bunch. But because I am a hopeless romantic, I mean, I'd have to be to watch Jerry Maguire so many times, I'll leave you with Dickie's best advice. Hey, I don't have all the answers. In life, to be honest, I have failed as much as I have succeeded. But I love my wife, I love my wife, I love my life, and I wish you my kind of success. Thank you, and congratulations.